Hello, everybody. Ready for some fun? Ready to put this bourbon to the test? See if their money will go where their mouth is? We've got Jim Beam White Label, right? Okay. It's the #1 selling bourbon in the world, unless you count Jack Daniels as a bourbon, which I do. Then it's #2. It is 4 years old and it is 80 proof. All right. This probably has about 1,000 barrels or more in this blend. All right. Then we have Jim Beam single barrel. It says on here that less than 1% of the barrels are used without being blended to make single barrel. What's typically done is they will dump in big distilleries like this thousands of barrels together to blend them to bottle. Now, while they're trying to get a flavor profile, if they come across an exceptionally tasty barrel, they will put it aside and say, do not blend that one. Let's barrel that one by itself. It's too good to blend. That's the theory behind the single barrel. So they're saying that that occurs less than 1% of all their barrels, which would still be a lot of barrels, but it's still only 1% according to them. So according to me, this should taste a lot better, or certainly different from the white label. However, there's something right off the bat that's going to, this is 80 proof. This is 108 proof. That alone is going to make a giant difference. If everything was exactly the same, but they took one barrel and watered it down to 108, and then out of the same barrel, watered it down to 80, that's going to make a big difference. So I don't know if the single barrel is going to be, if they were the same proof, we'd really be able to tell. But we're going to do it anyway, just to see if this is worth a little bit extra money for the single barrel. Even if it's just the proof that makes it better. If it makes it better, then that might be worth it, because better's better, right? I'm just pointing it out. The other thing that this says is that it is non-filtered. This doesn't say non-filtered. This says non-filtered to maximize the flavor. They're talking about chill filtering. So this is probably chill filtered. So again, we're not really, this isn't fair, but I didn't put this out. They did. They have a white label. They have a single barrel. The single barrel costs more. I'm here to detect if there's a difference and if it's better. I just cracked both of them, so they're fresh cracks. All right. Not going to do it blind. I don't need to do it blind. I'm not trying to guess what one's better. And I won't be prejudiced by the single barrel. I worked in many distilleries, okay? I can do this quite fairly. I know all the tricks and all the gimmicks. I'm not saying this is. So, here we go. This one is going to be the white label, and this is going to be the single barrel. Oh, yeah. Typical 80 proof Jim Beam, hasn't changed in years. Yeah, okay. So there is a difference on the smell. No doubt about it. Neither one of them's burning the nose, not the 80 and not the 108. I'm not going to say it's richer. I'm going to say it's different. The 80 actually smells good. Excuse me, and so does the 108. You know, it's bourbon. It doesn't smell bad. So now we will do what's really, we're going to add the taste to the smell. Let's do the 80. Man, I haven't had it in a while. I'm so used to these high proof cast strength and out of the barrel and everything else. That really is an easy drinker. That is, to me, no burn. Just almost like, wow. Man, that is light. That is light. Those flavors are muted. It's thin. It's not a bad bourbon. It's just there's not a lot to this 80 proof Jim Beam. This 108's got to be better, single barrel or not. Not that it's bad. It does not taste bad. It just doesn't have a lot of flavor to it. I'm going to reverse it too, so that you don't sweeten and cleanse your palate. One way to cleanse your palate is to just hold the whiskey in your mouth for about 10 seconds, swish it around, swallow it. Don't pay attention to the taste at that point. Now you've done cleansed any flavor that was in your mouth. On the second one, you go in for the taste. So you know what? Matter of fact, we'll do it again. Certainly more burn, even after just a little bit of acclimation. Do the 80. I barely taste the 80 after doing the 108. There is a I know you're waiting. I want to get this perfect. Mm-hmm. There's a definite difference. So the smell was different, but the taste is a lot different. There's a bigger burn for sure. But the main thing is that the flavors are stronger. They're just strong. It's more flavorful. Now, is that because they put less water in it to water and mute down all the flavors? That they stopped at 108 instead of going to 80 and you have that natural flavor? Or does it have to do that they picked a superior barrel compared to the blend? Or is it a combination of a better barrel than when it tastes all blended, a superior barrel, and the fact that it's higher? I'll say it's better. The flavor is stronger. The alcohol is stronger. That doesn't make it better, but the flavor is stronger. I would get the single barrel at this point because if I recall, I should know, and I have that. I hope this is it. Receipt is what I'm looking for. Yeah, okay, yeah. So the single barrel I paid $18.99. The other one, for the little bit of price, because it's still under $20, I would get the Jim Beam single barrel over the white label for two reasons. One, well, just drinking it straight, it's tastier. Two, even if I was going to make a cocktail, this extra little kick of the alcohol and the flavor will shine through a little more because that 80 is really light and you're not going to get a bunch of flavor coming in, especially when you start mixing it with cocktail ingredients. Whereas the 108 with the superior, well, the single barrel with the superior flavor and the stronger alcohol to it is going to kick through. And for $18.99, it's going to make a better cocktail. It's absolutely going to make a better cocktail. And certainly if you're sipping it by itself, it just tastes better. Same flavors, they're just stronger. They're just more prominent. They just come out more. Yeah. 80's not the sweet spot of Jim Beam. Absolutely not. The 108. It's kind of like when I did the Maker's Mark, the regular, which is 90 proof, and the 101. That little difference made a big difference. The 108 to 80 makes a giant difference. Whether that single barrel is the reason or not, just the proof alone is absolutely worth the extra money. Absolutely. Don't ever buy the white again, but if you can swing up, absolutely put this on the bar. Good looking bottle. And well, and again, it's not filtered either. So this isn't really fair, but I didn't do this. They did this. All right, they did it, and I want to say, hey, is it worth the extra, whatever, $4 a bottle? And my answer is yes. Whether it's the filtering, whether it's the barrel, superior single barrel, or whether it's the proof. I know the proof has a lot to it, or whether it's a combination of all three. It is an absolute, yeah, there's a big difference. And the 108 absolutely shines through. My recommendation, get the 108 every single time. Absolutely worth the $4. Absolutely. I would never buy the white again. All right. Thank you. And I'll see you on the next one.